I find is particularly interesting is that RichSticks is thinking of changing his name to Wealthy Twigs, and Twice a Day has decided to potentially change his name to 3 Nights Weekly.
Hey, so kind of like, thank you for commentating tonight.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
But this is a match where RichSticks actually will have a lot of experience in because he is on the same team as Party Wolf, and those two play quite a bit.
Well, that being said, Party Wolf doesn't really play Kilik all that much anymore.
Not anymore, but for all of season 1 and the start of season 2, he did play the character.
Definitely bulldogging his way through Kilik right now to incredible esteem. Maxi, definitely one of those characters where one thing you can definitely do is just see how your opponent reacts to very classic Maxi stance situations as early as you can in order to see the opponent's comfortability with your own character. Amy does the exact same kind of thing.
Yeah, now in Season 1, Kilik had a really great option versus Maxi's loops with his 4A, but in Season 2, with the addition of Heaven's Guard, you now kind of have to respect Maxi's strings a little bit more as Kilik and kind of pick your timing a bit better. But there we go, speaking of timing, gonna get the whip punch with the 6A plus B, goes for a throw reset, nothing out of it.
Surprised that 6A didn't hit, but yeah, that's definitely just the case with pretty much every Maxi matchup. It used to be, really? I don't know so much about that. But that's definitely the case again for Maxi with every single character. There are definitely plenty of characters, Amy included, that used to have pretty much hard answers for most of the options that Maxi would have in the kind of stance situation. So you really couldn't stance as much as you might want to as a Maxi player. Now, as long as you're willing to use your meter for something like that, you definitely have an option that at the very least is going to beat any of those 100% catch-all options that characters used to have.
Yes, he can, and there it is, right there, going in. Could be
soul attack, huh? Oh, right, okay. I appreciate the soul attack. I wasn't actually sure why he had done that instead of the CE before, but he has such a heavy life lead to potentially trying to bring it back, which it looks like he's about to. Oh, I really thought that Maxi was going to win out on that priority there. And he spent all of his meter for that round.
Yeah,
he spent the soul attack and like 2 Heaven's Guards.
Yeah, I think like the 4-4B is just evasive enough where like he just pulled his hitbacks back far enough where he's able to get it.
Okay. So I noticed that we're not really seeing any kind of meter. I know it's very difficult for Kilik to use the kind of meter you can't use it there, dude. No, that's the one place you can't use it, bro.
Mm-hmm. I saw it coming. I was about to say, well, hopefully he doesn't use it after this stance, and then
I mean, we all have to take our licks with that kind of a situation. It's definitely something that one has to expect at some point. Yes. So at the very least, he'll know that now. We'll see if Choice a Day is able to. It didn't seem like he was wholeheartedly uncomfortable. He was able to create certain situations and bait out the GIs in certain aspects, but when Rich was really close, as in like nose to nose, Choice a Day really felt like he was falling apart. And unfortunately, he decided to use his meter in the worst, most predictable place possible. Had he used the Soul Charge activation much earlier on, I think he would have been just fine.
Yeah, that's one of those like desperation soul charges, which are kind of predictable to use against. And when Maxi's looping on you and you do a predictable soul charge, you can't do anything when he Heaven's Guards you. You just have to eat it. It's not like
you essentially have to treat it like a 50-50. You have to think, all right, Maxi is gonna go for the RI, so then I'm gonna have to like see where the Heaven's Guard is coming, and the second that I see the Heaven's Guard animation, then I can do soul charge activation. Great punish.
Nice whip. Yeah, nice whip punish Twice a Day, going in, cashes out on max damage, just opting to back up here, but doesn't have the life lead. RichSticks can play it a little bit slower, but just runs up for a throw and ducking onto the high. Twice a Day, gonna get a nice whip punish, almost leaving up the life lead.
It's interesting they decided to go for Wall Rising A. I thought that you could get 6A plus B as a punish on that Kilik low, but I might be wrong about that. Maybe he just wanted to go into more loop pressure rather than having like a knockdown kind of Oki.
Yeah, and there we go. RichSticks is just looping like crazy, trying to escape, but no, that new neutral guard forward, not going to be able to do anything. But there's a ring out. Speaking of new moves, that 6-6 B slide K, or K slide B, sorry.
So yeah, again, it really seems that as long as RichSticks isn't at the spacing that he's at right now, Twice a Day does still feel relatively comfortable trying to deal with Maxi whipping in his face and getting really heavy damage, like stuff like this. Ooh, fantastic trap as well.
He is, but there we go. Gonna get the drum solo. Going into loop pressure. Huge sidestep from Twice a Day. The awareness against Maxi. Wow.
Ooh, okay.
I like it.
We got reads on reads?
Yeah, that was great use of his resist impact there. Now, unlike the one we saw for RichSticks earlier, he could have re-GI'd it, but he just didn't expect it, so he didn't react.
Yeah, which is kind of ironic considering it's a Maxi player.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he super attack crouched under the mid. Yeah,
that was pretty weird. You also normally see those kicks catch sidestep as well, and that didn't happen either. All right, so the very first time that we're actually seeing Kilik use meter, definitely a pretty big risk for Kilik to kind of do something like that, but it looks like it's going to end up giving him more chip damage than one would think is humanly possible, and he ends up healing to... Essentially, he has enough life to... Yeah, I think he had just enough life to potentially survive a grab, and maybe a 6A plus B, but yeah, it was just enough so that he didn't have to worry about losing to like a 1K.
Yeah, definitely. I liked how he got the life lead with the soul charge, and then decided to, all right, I have it. I don't have to approach. I'm just gonna pop it, heal a little bit, and then make it so that Rich has to come to me. And then he was, as you said, kind of just more than willing to be with the amount of life that he had to kind of take the mix up, right? He wasn't gonna die to a low, and a throw may have killed depending on the throw,
maybe.
But
yeah.
Definitely a great option for Twice a Day, just keeping it simple and taking game number 2. So we're gonna go out here on Indian Port, which I think we're coming back to. Oh, he tried to GI. So RichSticks had gone for just like the 6/6 A plus B, no hold, and then finally goes for the hold and kits him out. And why are you trying to backstep on me? Catch these boots.
Yeah, I really thought that this last match was going to very heavily depend on the stage. And for the most part, one could argue that it's probably solid for Twice a Day, giving him more room to kind of deal with situations in this kind of way. But now it seems like RichSticks has noticed just how he's going to win this match, and that's getting in close, like shades of Icy Chains, where it's just like, I am willing to take as many little pokes as you want, just as long as I get to go in and do stuff like this, because you tend to fall apart.
Yeah, and generally, it's interesting. The Twice a Day's game plan is kind of going in and trying to like guess on these mix-ups that Rich is going for, instead of pressing buttons that deny RichSticks getting in, because he's just running right at Twice a Day.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of like, Twice a Day knows that he's just not going to be able to keep up in the damage race if he ends up trying to just wholeheartedly keep him out. It's a very fine line where what RichSticks wants to do is literally be right up in his face, whereas what Twice a Day wants to do is be in his face, but we're talking about maybe like 1.5 character lengths away. And that's really going to be a sweet spot where he's going to be able to pull stuff off that Maxi may not be able to. But unfortunately, we're not really going to get to see a whole